Hello, colleagues and makers of the new world. It's Sandy again for the next 3 years. Have you ever wondered what it is that makes us who we are as teachers? All departments of education stipulate what we should be. And in South Africa, the norms and standards for teacher education declare that there are 7 roles and that every teacher should fulfill each one. We should be mediators of learning, interpreters and designers of learning programs and materials, leaders, administrators and managers, scholars, researchers and lifelong learners. We should fulfill a community, citizenship and pastoral role. We should be assessors and learning area, subject, discipline or phase specialists. And we should still be human. Adding to these roles, the UK includes in their roles that the teacher should act without discrimination or stereotyping, and that the teacher should act with professionalism and integrity. Zimbabwe includes preparing for and attending meetings with parents, and Australia includes the supervision and training of preschool teachers. At the end of the 20th century, UNESCO tasked Jacques Delors with investigating the kind of education that every child should be given during the 21st century. He suggested only 4 pillars which should underpin every curriculum in every country. Children should be educated to know, to do, to be, and to live together. And then we have good old Schulman, who gave us the knowledge base for teachers and explored the many different kinds of knowledge that each teacher should have in order to be able to educate meaningfully. I'll tell you more about these in a different video, but let's just have a look at what is expected of us right now. We have to be specialists in a phase, a subject, a discipline, or a learning area. However, primary school teachers are usually generalists, which means that in most schools, we're expected to know about and teach all of the subjects in the curriculum. To do this, we have to be able to know and understand the curriculum, and we must be able to interpret this into meaningful lessons in each of the subjects for all of our children on a daily basis. So that we can do this effectively, we have to be scholars, researchers, and lifelong learners so that our knowledge is on the cutting edge and we can update as we go along. This involves attending workshops, private study and research, and preparation for meaningful lessons so that we know what we're talking about for every subject that we teach every day of the week. We also have to be effective mediators of learning so that we no longer employ the old chalk and talk strategy that we were raised on, but have to keep abreast of developments and thinking in the world of practical teaching. We have to understand effective group work. We have to know how to ask meaningful questions, and we have to move away from teacher-centered learning into a space that is learner-centered. And we must have the skills to be able to do this. At the same time, we have to be leaders so that our children can adopt us as role models. We have to be managers so that our time with the learners is usefully spent and the work of the children is monitored. And we have to be administrators. Administration is no easy task, as any teacher will tell you, because this involves the keeping of records, children's attendances and their absences, children's marks, who has textbooks and who has returned them, which forms have the children taken home to be signed and who has brought them back again. It also includes the preparation and printing of worksheets and documents for the children and the preparation for assessment, which is also one of our roles. This involves the setting of class tests and examinations, the marking of these, and the recording of those marks. And we have to do that for each subject that we teach. I lose count when I try to remember them all, but they are the languages, history and geography, mathematics, life skills, drama, dance, music, visual art, natural sciences, technology, coding, and physical education. If we average out at 40 children in a class, and we all know that in many classes there are many more than 40 children, Then a generalist teacher has to mark an average of 600 assessments every term. During this pandemic, if each assessment takes 5 minutes to mark, then we have 50 hours per term spent just on assessment. That's about 5 hours a week throughout the term. Remember that this does not include the designing of the assessment, the preparation of the marking schedule or the rubric, or the administration of the test. It also does not include the daily lesson preparation and all that involves. Perhaps our most important role is that of the caregiver, described as fulfilling a community, citizenship, and pastoral role. This means that at all times we have to be aware, law-abiding citizens. We must also be active members of our communities, and we must fulfill a pastoral role. This means that we should be the nurses, the counselors, the mother or father figures, the disciplinarians, the advisors, the comforters. And we must be ever present and ever wise. We also have to consider whether our children are learning to know by acquiring new knowledge, learning to do by acquiring new skills, learning to be by becoming critical thinkers and thinking about the world that they inhabit, and learning to live with others so that they can cope in a diverse world that offers challenges and invites active participation. Oh, and I forgot to mention that we should also be directors of school plays, organizers of mini-Olympic championships, and master chefs for school functions. In between all of this, we are mothers and fathers to our own children, master chefs in our own kitchen, and problem solvers in our own homes. We have to consider shopping lists, laundry, homework, and home maintenance, and life itself. But that's only in between. There is not another job on this planet that requires one human being to be totally responsible for the academic, psychological, and social well-being of 40 miniature human beings in one room for a minimum of 6 hours a day for 5 days a week. So the next time someone says that teachers have an easy life because they only work half days and have school holidays, you know what to say to them. What makes that person keep on going when everyone else has gone to bed? What makes them go to work while the rest of the world is still sleeping? And what makes them determined to reach their children during the pandemic? What makes them literally risk their lives because the children must be taught? This is called our teacher identities, and we'll be exploring this in future videos. In the meantime, keep going, because only you can. Keep caring, because sometimes only you do. And keep being, because your light guides the world. You make the difference. You are important. And if you have the time, take care of yourselves and stay safe. I'll see you again.